Okay, so today I started up an instance on Google Cloud, and we're going to take this particular instance and we're going to do roles with this instance. So let me find my screen again. It disappeared on me. It's somewhere, but never fear. I can just go back here and click here and open up one in the browser. Takes it a little while, and then it'll start up. And the first thing is I started off, set up a CentOS box. It's only 10 gigs. And I'm going to have to install Ansible. I should be able to sudo, and actually I should be able to do this. I'm going to wget this. Oh, awesome. Wget's not installed. So let's do a yum install wget. Press it the -y option. And the repos are set up already. So, it looks like, oh yeah, I'm installing it looks like the F was already set up, but for whatever reason, I didn't have wget. So with that being said, it looks like my F is already set up. I should be able to do sudo yum install Ansible. And yeah, there we go. I'm installing Ansible right now. And then from there, we're gonna go look in /etc Ansible. I don't have any hosts set up right now. So let's go over here to etc Ansible. I'm gonna look at there's roles. So let me look back up here and see. I don't see Ansible-Galaxy. So let me let me do Ansible. And look, there's Ansible-Galaxy. Looks like it's already installed. So let's go back to our directions. Here. So we have to do, if you go back here, well, not here. Let's go back here. So it says Ansible install the username .role. So that's where I got that from. So it's telling you can find popular roles. So let's go over here. Let's open up a tab. And you just use the Ansible-Galaxy install the username and the role. All right, so it says beware the Ansible downloads roles to Ansible roles path, etc Ansible roles. You can override this by using the Ansible config. All right, and so then it shows you how to do download multiple roles. All right, then we have to install the role. Okay, so let's back up here. And what I did, I came over here once I got the link open. I did free-IPA because I want to search that. Actually, I should have just did free IPA. Sorry. Let's get rid of this guy. And we're going to use Greg Swift. Why? Because I know Greg Swift. So he's saying in here, you need a minimum of Ansible 1.2. So let's go back to our little screen here. And here we say Ansible, Galaxy, Greg, Swift. And remember, I'm just acting like I'm setting up an IPA server. And we can write our own roles. So let me do something here. You sudo this command here. So okay, let's see what does it say we're missing. It says, did I do install? Did I say install? Oh no, I didn't. I forgot to say install. I didn't give it what it needed to do. So it looks like what happens is it went out to Greg's server, GitHub account, and downloaded this. So let's go over here and check that out. So we can go here. I'm missing the H. The H. So here's Greg's site, and here's his IPA server, and here's his documentation for it. Here's the variables that can be used, and then he shows you an example of a playbook, how you can set up your playbook in order to install Ansible as a server. So let's go back to here. He tells you what platforms are supported, and then if you look at the README, always read READMEs, very important. So looking at the README, you'll see he has two main variables: IPA server admin password, IPA dir admin password, and you know that from if you ever manually install IPA, it asks you when you're doing the install, it asks you for the admin password, and then it asks you for the directory server password. And so then it says the following variables are used by this role and values are defined in defaults.main.yaml. So that lets me know that we have to have a file call in the path of defaults in main.yaml. And I wonder if defaults has to be in our current directory or can we assign it to read it from etc Ansible and then it'll be defaults and then a main.yaml. So in here, we're passing some basic commands that we want to set up. Some basic pre-configs. So in our file, we would have this set up right here, and then we would assign these variables. Like, do you want to configure SSH? True, true. What DNS folder would we want to use? What is the domain name? Host base, rules. True. The IPA ID starts. Your make home directories. The packages to install for IPA server from when you're doing the IPA server setup. So these are the packages that they need to go out and get. Your example.com is your actual. In our case, it's your actual. For us to be women in Linux or whatever domain you want to set up, and then DNS, and then NTP, and then if you want to redirect. So then he comes down here, and remember we had in here variables. There's that variable again, and it's gonna prompt you. And then I guess this looks like something was. It says what should the admin password be for IPA, and then private yes, and then default. I think we got to put in the password. We may not have to, but I'll double check that. And then roles, and then it goes into role Greg Swift IPA server. So let's go on to our box. So if we cdo the etc Ansible roles, we'll see we have Greg Swift. Let me look at So I need to sudo the root here because it's owned by root. Let's go to Greg Swift. So here it is. That's what I was wondering. Remember, I was like, I wonder how it was set up. So in there's defaults, which we go back up here, right here where it says defaults main.yml. Let me get that back. Come on. All right. So if we go into defaults, and then we look at main.yml, we'll see we have everything that you see in there, and we can set these up. So the only thing we would need to change is the domain, the realm, and if you don't want to use any other things. And then 8.8.8.8 is Google, and then that's it. So let's change this to We can leave it example, but I don't want to. Let's make it, oopsie. Let's make this conference.com. And then this one has to be capitalized. So let's go here and name this conference. All right. So basically, we have the config the way we want to. All right, then we have to make our playbook. So we can kind of just cut and paste this. I like to put my playbooks in opt. So we can call this let's do IPA server install YAML. All right. So we have vars, and looking at vars is, so we have to set up in our private, let me look again. We have a private idm.yaml. All right, so these right here are looks like something happened in translation, HTML translation there. And I wonder, I don't think they need to be in quotes. So let's do this. We'll see if this works. And let's get rid of this here. And we got one more line to clean up. And this one down here. All right. So basically, we have set up our playbook. We have vars and then private.idm YML file. So let's look in our Ansible roles. Okay, so I don't see a var. I don't see a var IDM YAML. Let's go to defaults. There's main. Let's go to handlers. There's another main. Let's go to task. There's a main there. Yeah, it's reading facts. These look like they're reading local facts. And we should go through this one. And it looks like he's setting up the firewall as well too. On the firewalls that you need. Okay, so let's go back. And any questions so far while I'm rolling through this? Oh no. Okay. All right, so now let's go back to what they're telling us that we're supposed to do. So we have to install the role. All right, so now it says Ansible-Galaxy install -r role.txt. Let's go back over. Yeah, I don't see any text files. So let's see where they're getting this from. A list of install the role. A list of roles can be specified in a file. Provide roles one line at a time. Oh, that's if we're gonna do multiple download of roles. All right. And then there's advanced downloading. Start watching count. Create a share. And good practices. Dependencies. All right, so now test it. The actual work is to perform gets added as a playbook in task.main.yml. You've added some tasks. Create the playbook to test the role. Boom, boom, and okay. So basically, I don't even need to do anything. I didn't even have to make my. I didn't have to make mine. Well, I guess I did. All right, so let's go over here. Let's do Ansible playbook IPA. Yeah. All right, so let's see what we're missing here. There is something not lined up. So let's find out what that is. All right. I wonder what the problem there. So you private default. That's lined up. All of this is lined up. Let's go back and see what that error was. It is telling me line 8. So you can do :set NU, and I'll tell you, there we go. You're having a problem with this variable. I wonder if I need to go in here and set up. Let me see. I wonder if I need to set up vars private dot IML. I wonder if I need to do that. Well, let's see. For variables, that's not how you do it. So make dir -p. So what the -p does is going to make the directory and the file under that. So let's go back and look at my file. I need this guy. Oopsie. Oh, did it not make a directory? Let's go here. It made it a directory. I needed to make a file. So here we go. Oopsie. One under it. There we go. Then we do vars. And then I know my formatting is off here, so I'm gonna get my formatting right here. And we need IPA server install. We need this guy. He's a variable too. Alright. Alright. So let's go here. We need to look up vars and Ansible. Alright. So let's look at this one. Name. That's an include. I want to make sure we have the variables. See, this is how you do variables. So that's in a task. I wonder, do I need to do that in my... No, I don't need to do that in my playbook, because I can't do that in my playbook. Alright, let's go over and find out where should I be making how should I make my vars file? Vars, Ansible, let's do file. Yeah. Those includes oh, did I just click on the same thing? It looks like I did, but I didn't. Let's see. Okay, they just have vars. See, they didn't include. I'm just gonna put vars, and then I'm gonna put what it should be. Let me see. What am I saying? The actual var should be. Let's see. This is what I was looking for. So field 1:1, field 2:2. So yeah. Alright, so let's just do this. Make sure, yeah, there is a space. Alright, let's check out and see what happens with our file. Okay, so now the offending line. We could be wrong, but this looks like it might be an issue with missing quotes, so I guess so. But I don't think so. Well, let's go. Let's put them in. And it should be in this guy. You might have been right. Alright. Let's do this guy. And here. And here. Okay. Now it didn't take my password. So it should have took what I had in the file. It says provided list. I don't have any host files set up in there, so it automatically defaulted to local. But I don't want to do that. I want to do that. That's fine. But I want it to read my file. I want it to read my vars private IDM file. It should be reading this file. Alright, so let's go back and look at our playbook. We got our playbook to run, so that sounds good. But in here we have vars private IDM.yaml, and then it asks us for a prompt. Oh, look, it may be in default. So let's look at roles defaults. I wonder, do we need to set that in here? Because then it should just run. Let's see. Do. But the var, and here we're telling the vars file, hey, if you want vars, go here and look for private.idm.yml, and then when what should the password be? Should be private, meaning when I type it, you won't see it, and then it should take. Okay, I guess the default is is a password, so we need to figure out how to make it not ask me for the password like we did in ours. So let me show you what I'm talking about. In ours, well, it didn't ask because we passed it in. That's why I didn't ask. In here, no, that's the wrong one. Exit. No, Ansible. Wednesday. And if we look at IPA install.yaml, we passed it. Passwords. We did it all that command prompt, which we should clean up with the roles. That's what we're working on, cleaning it up with roles. So here, it shouldn't be prompting. It should be reading from that file. What IPA admin server. So let's look at it again. Yeah, so it should be reading that. And I'm wondering if my format is right. Because we tell it what it is, and we pass it the password. One doesn't need to be in single quotes. So it knows to take it. But I don't think it does. Let's try it again. Okay, I didn't give it any type of password. It says the vars prompt has an invalid value to include a variable that is undefined. The error was vault IPA server admin password is undefined. This appears to be in blah line 1, but be elsewhere in the file depending on the exact syntax. Okay, so it doesn't like that, but let's do this. I can easily do this, which is not right. Well, let me do this. Whenever you're changing a file, so we don't have to go back, copy it over. I'm cheating right now. So what we're gonna say is we're gonna say vars, right? And then in here, we do this. We say we highlight this guy, and then we put in password. But suppose we want to keep things private. That's why you would create the file. So that way, if you're handing out this file, everything is private. So let's give this a whirl. You still didn't take it. Oh, recap. Let's see. It still didn't take it. I'm gonna run it again. So let's go here. So it didn't do. Looks like it didn't do anything. Oh, And I can tell because Ansible isn't running on this port, on the ports that it should be running on. All right, let's find out what else we need to do. So we have the Galaxy set. We have Ansible-Galaxy set up. We know it's prompting us for a password. Roles. Let's go back to Galaxy playbook. Okay, that's creating a role and creating a branch. Let's look up Ansible-Galaxy Roles. Any questions? Yeah, so let's find out what we need to do with our, whenever this decides to render for me. Oh, there we go. I guess I didn't hit enter. All right. So let's look at this. Okay, you set up a vagrant. Okay. Here's this .yaml file. He's in here, he's passing a username and a database. Well, he's passing the name of the database and then usernames and then the passwords. And he says his playbook set up right here. Name host vagrant sudo to true vars file equals mysql.yaml. I wonder where his mysql.yaml is at. At what level? Because we have ours at right here at vars. Let's go back up here and look at his vars. Look, he just has dash dash. So let's look at our vars. Let's get rid of the dash dash. Let me see. Hold on. Am I right? No, keep the dash dash and just define it. Change this to a comment. I'm gonna do this. Alright. And let's go up one level. Let's go back to our file here. Let's do this. Let's move IPA over to IPA dot new file, and then copy the IPA original over to IPA install. So basically, I'm just copying over the original config that we started with to the new config, and I moved the new config over to another file, so I still have a copy of that. So here you can see I have 3 copies. So now let's open up this guy, and we're back to where we started with the private, as you can see here. So now let's run this playbook again. Oops. And then IPA. Oh, it still doesn't like me. Why? What is happening why you don't like it? Because you should be reading that file. Just like we have here, we define the acronym with all the permissions, we run the playbook. Ansible will create the user in a database defined in the host we decide. In our example, we will create it automatically. No, because we took care of the quotes. And let's see. He doesn't. Oh, you mean right here? Put it in parentheses there. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Oh, wrong file. Let's look at the syntax here. So here that we have bracket let's give it some space there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go here. And you still don't like me. Let's go back and look at our. All right, what are we doing? Admin password. We did Oh, I wonder if I have to specify the. Let me look at his thing. I wonder if I have to specify the actual um the actual like name is associated with my SQL. Like you have to give the database a name and you have to give it a password because it asks for the variable password. So I'm wondering if I have to do this like that and then do this. I won't change both of them. I just change one. Oh, I could have left that one. But this one goes over here. And the colon there. And this. I wonder if that's how it has to go. Let's see. Nope. It didn't like me. I'm gonna find out how we do it. That's gonna be the solution for next week. So, all right, let's look at. Okay, define included in files. We know about include statements. That's easy. You just include. But in this case, we're not including. We're telling it exactly where to find the information. Now that's an include. That's another include. Roles. So site, roles, task. I wonder if I need to put it under vars. I wonder if I need to do that. So let's move vars over to etc Ansible roles. I wonder if it goes under Greg Swift. So look, that didn't work because it's looking for vars in my current directory. See? I was right the first time. So we know that's not the case. Alright, there's our vars. So it looks for that file, so we know that it's actually finding the file. But it's not doing what it should do. Alright. So if the roles x main.yaml vars, this is a list of variables that will be added to the play. See? You're supposed to just run it in the play when we do our playbook. Okay. Let's see. Roles default dependencies. Dependencies allow duplicates. Roles, more roles, Ansible-Galaxy, and that's the end of the file. Okay, so let's go back to what we originally had, which was this. And I could copy it back, but this is just as easy. Let's make sure they line up. Okay. And we're gonna go back and we run that playbook. And it's asking us for what is the admin password for IPA. We changed the prompt. And if I just type in password and password, it just gives me a play recap. It doesn't do everything else that it's supposed to do. So let's look at our playbook. It does this, and then we don't get anything else. Because I wonder if we have to do that install. Here's the role. Let's go up here. Task roles. Let's see. Let's look up an example. Running playbook. Let's see, Ansible role. Example. Because from the looks of his, it looks like he just has this. And we added our install role to the role section, and we will override the YAML file, which that's fine. When we run this playbook, Ansible will create the user and the database. So we just run the playbook, and the playbook's supposed to create everything for us. Alright. Let's look at this guy. No, this is creating a role. That's fine. Vars. This is how, see, this is what I was talking about. See, he gave it a role and a version of the role. Some files, some handlers. This is the setup of how everything should be set up. And we have everything set up, and then we have go read roles.gregswift.ipa.server. So I'm wondering as well too. I wonder, does he need to be in the same directory? Oh, I forgot my dash. So now let's try to run this role again. I'm just gonna put in a password because I don't know why it's not reading it. Yeah, nothing else happens. Because in our role, in our main.yaml, we install these files. And those files don't get installed. If I look in our log messages, see, those files are not getting installed. So we're missing a step. Any questions? I know I have questions, so let's see. This is my attempt to clean up my Ansible script. So doing rows. That's his playbook. Okay. Okay, he's getting funky with it. But I don't see anybody running that Ansible playbook from command line. That's what I want to see. Let's look at this. Okay, so here's this group file, group vars and all. He's launching an EC2 instance, web server, a database, a load balancer, a monitoring instance, and so forth. And then if you go back to his group vars, he defines what the database should be. Look, just ... and then your variable, and then your actual answer. I wonder something, if I need to get rid of the prompt. Where we got the prompt at. I wonder if I just need to get rid of the prompt. Name, and then you prompt me for a name, and then you take the default variable that we assign it. But I can ask Greg. That's what's cool about it. And then let's go look at these roles that this guy has. Let's look at Nagios. Let's look at his task. Yeah. Then this host. Okay. And Ansible, Ansible playbook. And then whatever host you want, and the site.yaml. That's it. It should be fairly straightforward. All right, let's look at this guy. And I'll post this too. It seems like it should be a pretty good one. Handlers, task, creating a directory if needed, blah, 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 hosts, roles, dependencies if you had them. And then he just did a setup like we would if we were going to read from a file, if we're going to read information. And then create a directory. Yeah. So we seem to be on the right path. We're just missing a step. And now that's going to bother me until I figure out the step. And then I'm going to sit down and figure out the step and then write, a little blog about it. Files, the variables, which we have named them correctly. The handler, the task, and then that's if he was going to pass a private key. But yeah, you just run it. I didn't know you can do Ansible playbook syntax check. Let's do that. But it would have gave me a thing, Ansible playbook. Dash dash syntax. Yeah, dash dash. We want to do it on one empty list. Okay, that's fine. All right. So our syntax is correct. Our playbook looks like it's set up correctly. Let's see. In the same directory as it, create a new directory called run.yaml in that file. In this video, I use so we can only use the inject role. How do we? I want to debug. I want to see a debug. We can debug an Ansible. All right. Where's it go? Let's do a debug. Oh, come on. There we go. What am I missing? Oh, I need to tell it verbosity. Oh, not you. Let's go back to this guy. And yeah, it didn't give me nothing. Oh, let me go back and where was that file? Where was I at where we saw the examples of their variables? See? But that's the variables is right, but it's prompting me. Let's look here. So good Cloud Academy says. Right, task, and some roles, some hosts, A file, well, right here, files again. This is a variable. And then here's the roles. Why is it using net? Did some stuff we downloaded from web servers. Metadata vars. And where you want to run it on. So I had to figure out why. Let's while we spent our time on that, let's do this. We got one more thing I can try. And I'll ask Greg about it. Let's try this, guys. Let's see. RL7, EL7. Yeah. So let's try his. Oopsie. Let's go. Look like he got the same thing, huh? I wonder if I'm supposed to run main.yaml. Let's try this. So let's go back and look at the other guy that we had been looking at before. This guy. So our main Ansible, our main will be our site.yaml file. Okay, so let's go back and look at both of these directories. All right. And where's yeah, we just got main. So let's do this. So under all of them, we have a main.yaml file. And here's this site. And all he does is include this. Whereas in and then he runs site.yaml, Ansible.playbook on site.yaml. He runs it on this file. See our main Ansible config file. So, let's do this. Let's call it I only grabbed it for syntax purposes. Here we're gonna not worry about host. New file. Don't have a remote user. var file for us, but he doesn't have a var file, right? I didn't see in there where we needed a var file, but we do need the role. In this case, the role is this guy here. Okay. Let's look at my other one. Host. We don't have any servers. We don't have anything default, but it's okay. One other thing, default to localhost. Ansible. I think I have to do something like. Let's see. Yeah, I have to do this. Let's do that. And then in my file, I think I do this. Okay, so it should default to localhost. So okay, hold on. Let's look at that file. That one is what we want to. Okay. Let's look at the site. It should be, and this should be. This is old. That's why I keep giving me that. It should become, and you're supposed to say yes. And then here for host, you should say localhost. I think that's how that works. Look at that. All right. That's better than what we had before. So we know it's something that's going on with that playbook. All right. So ensure software installed by Yum. It failed. Let's see. IPA server no package managing IPA server packages found available or updated. Results no package managing IPA server is found available. Okay, so let's look at our new guys roles iron rail and then defaults main.yaml. He goes and he wants to install IPA server bind and whatever. So let me grab this guy and let's do an RPM query and let's grab this. Okay, so it's not installed. All right, so something is going on where it says the item equals to IPA server packages, no package manage. So okay, so let's look at roles and let's go over here to this and let's go to task and let's look at main.yaml. Let's look at what he has, which is okay. We know we're doing it on CentOS, so let's start from the beginning. So we have is reading localhost information. That's why it's Ansible FQDN, and we get that from here. We get that from doing this. So If I go over to temp now and facts, you see localhost. And remember before I showed you this before. So when you look at this file, defaults main.yaml. Oh, sorry. Need to medium. Not that guy. It's actually task main.yaml. This guy is reading that information. Fully qualified, Ansible fully qualified domain. So remember, it's a key value type of thing. It's adding a host entry into etc host. It's doing that. It says ensure software install. Here we go. Okay, so this is where it's crapping out on us. Ensure software is installed. It's going through name equal to item, and then the state should be present. And it says with items, IPA server packages. There's no IPA server packages. So there's no RPM's name IPA server packages. That's where it ends up crapping out on us. And it looks like he was trying to define what IPA server packages are, but that doesn't work. So what we need to do is we need to define what those IPA server packages are. And we know that from that last file from Greg on default. These guys. And we're just gonna put them here for right now. I can just cut and paste. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put one of them in, and then we're gonna run. We're gonna put in IPA server, and then we're gonna run this script again. So let's run the script again. On main, we need to go back over. Okay, change the local host, and here it's probably trying to do that install. Let's see if it errors out on us. Let's see. Come on. You can do it, little buddy. All right, let's see what's going on with it. Let's go back. Let's leave that running. And this is when we go back to our terminal here. And open up in the browser. Oh, there you go. Error it out. Okay. Okay, failed true message, invalid value appears to be include a variable that is undefined. There was IPA server admin in the blah 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 blah. All right, so here's what we want to do though. This is why I had opened up the other terminal, but here I can let's do tail dash in last 20 lines of var log messages. Look, so our line worked. Remember I said we need the packages? So that line worked. So it's another part in there that we're missing. So what I did was I went and looked at, I told, if I do tail var log messages, it's just going to give me by default, I think the last 10 lines. But I want to specify the number of lines that I want it to give me. So I can specify the last 30 lines, or I can specify the last 2 lines of the file, last 3 or whatever. And if you're not sure of everything, remember always do a man on the command, and then it'll also come here and tell you as well. So max right here, number of lines. Yep. All right. So now we know that our thing worked, right? So we know there's 2 more that we need to put in there. So let's go and add those files, those actual not binaries, but RPMs to our file as task. Right, so this is treated like a for loop. So in here I can do, I should be able to do, I think I'm supposed to do with items, and then it should be bind. And let me double verify my syntax here. Okay, just a dash and then what I want to do. Oh, that's right. Hold on. So in this case, I want to do with items. And if I put it in, okay, let's give this a shot. Not you. Not you. That's what happens when you have a lot of windows open. So, according to them, I should be able to do this. Where is it? Bind. This guy. According to that. So now, if we do Ansible, playbook, site, okay, it doesn't like that, which is perfectly fine. I knew that was wasn't right. Where'd you go? With items, all right. Let's do it that way. Alright. Then let's get rid of this guy. Let's run that again. And you like it. So over here, so tell dash n 20 var long messages. And we can see there was an install. So that's it. You see it right here? There it is, the yum. So it took my next two. So that's a good thing. All right, so we got that part taken care of, so we're moving along. All right, so let's find out what this error is. So let's go over here and let's go to swim, etc, Ansible, roles, the iron rain, and task, and his main.yaml file. It's airing out where it says IPA server admin password. So IPA server underscore admin underscore password. Alright, okay, right there. Alright, so here, what that sounds like to me is when it gets here, this variable hasn't been defined. And so it's looking for where is this variable being defined at. So now, if we look at the C, so now we have to tell it where to define, where we can define that variable. We can cheat. Before we cheat, let's really look at his stuff. We looked in task. Let's look in defaults. So he doesn't have anything in here. Because I guess you were supposed to make that your stuff. So that's where he wants the firewall to go. So in our case, not down. In our case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. We're gonna say go over here. Remember those? We have a vars directory, so we've already defined those. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna say we're gonna look at Greg's again. What is it called? Ansible host. No, Ansible roles. Sorry. And look at Greg. And then let's look at task. And he got the same thing, but he wanted to define. We had to define our passwords, and I wonder if we can define them in that file. Let's see. put them in here. Can we say this guy? And then can we grab this guy? Let's get rid of that white space. Let's go back over here. And then can we do an Ansible playbook site.yaml? Okay. Okay. Further along. Now here's the trick with Ansible. Our host name is this. That's what our host name is. So here in hosts, we do have that IP address defined. It's defining it every time. Every time we run it, it keeps making it. That's fine. But it's saying example.com does not match up with what we have in here. So the actual name is this. We need to change it to that. So we need to change this here, this IPA server domain. You change it to what the actual host name is or domain names. And then here, I'm gonna show you something. All right, so we got that, right? It needs to be all capitalized. All right, so in order to make it all capitalized, you do this. Let me see if it's, hold on, I'm gonna see if this gonna work. Hold on, shift, no, control maybe, hold on. Oh, not that. Hey, come back. That one it, huh? All right. So what I was trying to do was this. What you do is you highlight what you want, and then you do colon shift. Colon tilde, and it should make it capitalized. But I'm not. I'm messed up on this one. So I'm just gonna type it out here. C desktops running in Linux. And we get rid of all of that. Oopsie. Oopsie. Come on back. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, my insert key is on. That's what that is. There we go. You're not liking me? There we go. No? Oh, I got it. My X. I need to make it lowercase. So it's messing up. Okay. Back to this guy. Run the playbook again. All right. What are we complaining about now? Mm-hmm. That's correct. Cannot use IP address. Invalid IP address. That's not true. The IP address is 10.142.107, but I think because it has an external IP address right now, it's probably looking at that. IP address invalid, cannot use IP address. Okay, so let me look at this. Let's grab this guy. 104, 196, 188. Alright, so let's grab that guy. Yeah. And then we need to grab, let me see. Let's see if it likes this guy. No, he didn't like it. You didn't like the IP address. Don't flip the table. Alright, so let's see why it didn't like this IP address. IP address is 10.142.0.7. Let's see. Let's see, it went back and reset it. Ansible-Galaxy -test. .c. I wonder if I had to do the .c. Let me look at something. No, we fixed that. When we did the one task main.yaml, was it in main? Where was it at? Where were we at where we assigned the was it vars? No. Where did we assign the actual domain name? Yeah, here. I wonder if I had to do this. And then come back over here and run it again. What are you crying about now? The IPA server install. Let's see. Yeah, we're almost there. I mean, that's the last little file that we need to get to work. Um, let's look at this, guys. Let's go and see what the main says it's doing. We're gonna run the installer. The server. Hold on, let me turn off highlights. Host name. Yep. The Ansible ETH0 IP address, and then it's gonna start up on that IP address. It has two. It probably finds two of them, so I can verify that by going to. Remember, I gathered the facts. Localhost. Let's look at IP. So yeah, so it's pulling that IP address. That's where it's pulling it from. It's pulling that IP address from here, but it's saying that that's not valid. And it's replacing it, so we know that it's pulling and it's working. And it's making the home directory, host space rules, configure SSH, and then creates the default etc default.conf. Let's look at this guy here. Nothing in there. Okay, because it errors out. So I wonder if I can trick it and put in this IP address. It's hard coding, but I just want to see if it works. Where is that? Right here. Oopsie. Remember what I said. I always make an original file. So we can always go back to it. Alright, so now we're going to get rid of this IP address here. And we're going to stick this guy in. Hey, man. Okay. Now you can flip the table. So that's the only part that's holding us up from working is the IP address that keeps telling me failed to detect IP address. So yeah, so that's not the answer then. So let's go back here. Let's do this. ORIG. And then yep. And then when we run it, yeah, so it's getting the actual IP address. So that's not a problem. I wonder, do I need to do this? Now, because what I think what's happening is it's password. It finds the host name, and then it finds the IP address. So basically, IPA uses DNS, and when it can't go out and find DNS, hold on. Yeah, so it's search. So here's the domain, right? Should have added that, but it should be looking at files first. So I know that from here. When I do DNS, it should look at files first, and then go out and do it. Okay. Oh, you know what? Did I record? I did. Okay.